So on my last video, if you guys haven't seen it, you can go check it out by hitting the card in the top right-hand corner of the screen. We talked about how to just get a regular Olog or Captain to cheat death. Now, Ologs, which is weird, are a tiny little bit more specific on how to get them to cheat death. When it comes down to it, it actually is possible. The only problem is you might have to do it one of two ways. Either you gotta have an Olog on your side and then get them to cheat death to turn against you, or the second one being on top of that is there's a very specific way they have to die. So as you guys know, Ologs are not grabbable. So the number one way that I spoke of last time to get a captain to cheat death, or a war chief or whatever, is you have to grab them and throw them off. Now, an Olog you can't do this with, as you're not able to grab an Olog. However, let's go over the multiple different ways that you could get them to cheat death. First of all, I want to say that if you are facing I believe it is a dark or a terror, I think it's a terror Olog has more of an increased chance of actually cheating death depending on what type of abilities they have. I don't know the specific abilities myself yet, but it seems like the terror ones actually have come back a lot more during playthroughs versus any of the other kinds. The other one being on top of this is specifically if you want to go the route of making them yours and then getting them to cheat death and then turn against you, you need to specifically have an Olog, brand them, take them on a fortress assault with you, and make sure they die due to an opposing war chief and or orc. Going on to the next one, which is the little bit more difficult version of it. So first of all, believe it or not, if you are facing a mystic, specifically a mystic Olog, a mystic Olog actually has an increased chance versus all the other classes of coming back to life when you decapitate them and becoming kind of like a necromancer like Olog that's been stitched back together, you know, and survived death, etc., stuff like that. The other thing being is that Ologs, in order specifically for them to, like, the one specific thing you have to do in order for them to cheat death is make sure you encounter them at least 5 times. So what that means is that you actually have to go and encounter them, you know, actually have the dialogue box play where, like, they directly mention you and it, like, does the zoom in and everything 5 times. If you don't do that, it necessarily doesn't happen. So Ologs are very weird because they're more specific and more difficult to get to cheat death because you have to specifically kind of make them one of your main nemesises in order for it to happen. So you want to make sure you encounter them quite a bit, and then you yourself, you want to make sure you kill them in a way that, for the most part, unless it's a mystic, you don't want to decapitate them, okay? So when you do an execution, there's a chance that it could decapitate them, which is a bit of an issue. So I would just recommend trying other things. Like, for an example would be, I sat here and actually lit one on fire. Well, he died, he cheated death, came back, was able to summon a dragon. If you want to go check that video out in the top right hand corner of the screen, you can. I actually wound up branding him and he was mine, and he's no longer with us, sadly, in our world of Mordor, but he was a very good companion. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I do apologize for the wait on this video, and I'll see you guys next time.